What's up, bookworms? This is Dani Reads, and welcome back to Top 5 Wednesday. So today's Top 5 Wednesday, we are talking about books that we dislike but still love talking about. Probably none of these are going to be a surprise for any of you, but let's just get into them. So I'm just going to get this one out of the way because no one is going to be surprised ever, and that is Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls by Lynn Weingarten. I just didn't like this book, and whoever wants to listen and who doesn't mind being spoiled, I will tell them about this book and how much I didn't like it and specifically why. So yeah, I talk a lot about this book. I literally told my spouse Heather the entire plot line just so she could understand why I didn't like it so much. So yeah, this is number one. The next book is Rainbow High, and this is by Alex Sanchez. The reason I really didn't like this book, but I kind of like talking about it or don't mind talking about it, is I felt the characters were super whiny and I just didn't like them whatsoever. I thought they were kind of bratty and acting like children for being seniors in high school, and just really dramatic when they didn't have to be, and like into the drama. Just drama kings is what they were. But the reason why I really like talking about this is, one, to complain about how whiny they were and how it just looks bad for the LGBT community, but it's also important because they do place a really important message in HIV and AIDS and testing, and make sure you're tested, and making sure to be careful and all that stuff. So I feel like that's really important, but I will also gladly tell you how dramatic these guys are in this book, and I will tell you how much I don't like it. But the main reason why I'll ever mention this book is for the positive message about making sure you're getting tested for STDs and all that stuff before any sort of encounters, if you know what I'm saying. The next book is Juvie, and I love talking about this book because I just like to complain. And I didn't like mean it to be like bad, but honestly I feel like I just get really passionate about how this author had a really good opportunity with this book and took it in the totally wrong direction. And I felt that they could have just done things totally different to make the storyline a little bit more interesting and a little bit more intriguing to read. And that's why I like talking about it, because I like kind of talking about different scenarios. It's like, okay, well, what if the author went this way with the book? Like, where would we end up? And I find that really interesting. So that's why I would probably say I talk about this book, or I like talking about this book, even though I didn't like it. The next book is one you are not going to be surprised about at all, and that is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Who's surprised? Nobody. So pretty much, I just didn't like this book. If you watched my worst books of 2017, which I card right here, I kind of go into it a little bit. But like I said in that video, I'm not here to like totally bash on authors and their books, because obviously it is something they are proud of and something that they did, which I don't ever want to take away from. It just wasn't for me, but whoever will listen, I will tell them why I did not like this book. And like I said in my worst of 2017, I think my biggest issue with it was the synopsis talks about a girl being found dead, and then she's really not discussed throughout the book until the very end. So I want to know about the girl, not everybody else. So that's where my biggest problem was. So that's why I'll easily talk about it, but I really didn't like it. And the last book is Winter Girls by Lori House Anderson. And the reason that I have a problem with this book, because I just really didn't like it. I feel like it was just kind of weird, and it just I don't know, it went in a direction that I just didn't expect it to and whatever, but I really do enjoy discussing it because it talks about different kinds of eating disorders, which I feel is really, really important, that we need to be discussing these things and finding people who need help and all that stuff. So anytime there's a book that has any sort of like representation, good or bad, for any kind of illness, if it's mental, physical, anything, we need to be talking about it. So even if it's a bad book or it's a bad representation, then we can talk about why it was bad and how we can change it or what would have been better. So that's why I would love discussing that, even though I really didn't like the book. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching my Top 5 Wednesday. Next week I am not doing Top 5 Wednesday because I don't have enough books for the top 5, which is sad. It's only 5 books, but I don't got it. So I pretty much only read hyped books. So yeah. So there will be a different video out for you guys on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it. Comment down below if there are any books that you didn't like but you still like discussing, and or tag your videos down below as per usual. I'd love to watch them. I keep biting my tongue. Freaking sucks. And I will see you guys in my next video. Keep reading, keep smiling. Bye guys.